Hi, I'm Lovely, and today I'm going to review Torchwood Series 1. Let's get started. Now, if this is your first time watching me, I did give a general review of Torchwood in my latest reviews for the series that just released by Big Finish, Torchwood Series 7 Among Us, but those were very tiny summaries of how I felt on these series. I will be going a lot more in depth here. There will be spoilers, I believe, for the series as a whole, but I won't go super into detail when it comes to stuff in Series 5 through 7, since I don't believe a lot of people have listened to those. Do not worry about spoilers for those series. All I will say is, I highly recommend them, especially if you missed Torchwood. Okay, I think that about covers it. Let's start. So, to give a general synopsis, I don't mind the story in this first season. I will go episode by episode, but I don't mind the general story of this first series where I believe it's everybody dealing with being part of Torchwood, and nobody is talking about it, and it eventually builds up to this finale where everyone's just a mess and everything goes to hell. I really like that as a concept. And I don't know, I just like it a lot. Now, would I say I like watching the season a lot? No. I think it's not too bad maybe on a first go. Um but no, I at least for me, this is my least favorite season of Torchwood. I imagine it's most people's least favorite, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad to them. I would say this is kind of bad. um, and I won't be super negative because I don't think I need to be. But if I'm being honest, this is not my favorite one. I will go through every episode now and basically give my thoughts on it. Episode 1, Everything Changes. I know I just talked about not liking the season too much. This is a really good pilot. I am a big fan of this one. It introduces all of the Torchwood team and their faults, their many faults, just a little bit. Suzie is fantastic, and what a good way. I believe when they advertised this season, she's on the. It's one of those things where it's like she's on the poster. It's like, okay, she's gonna be a part of this show, and she's not, and I think it's really good. It's it catches you off guard. If there are any complaints I have for this episode, it's maybe the Owen stuff to show that he's a piece of shit. Um, but this kind of like back when if you're gonna show someone being a piece of shit, they're just a piece of shit. They aren't shy about it. Um, and if anything, it's that. I don't like that you need to have some knowledge of Doctor Who before going into it. Something I really like about Series 3 and 4 is you can jump right into those series without really watching these first two. Um, and I like that a lot, especially for a spin-off show. Um, I really like when you can just jump into it instead of having to like, okay, let's say you have to watch the first two seasons of Doctor Who and then get into this. But I understand that this show needed that like the Doctor Who stuff to really like start. If you know what I mean. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, episode 1. Really, really good. I love when the fucking theme kicks in when I believe Gwen is just running in the streets. Um, I plan for these videos to mostly be more just like listen to commentaries instead of like visual ones where you're seeing scenes from the show. But I love that scene. And Eve Miles is fantastic in this first episode. She's fantastic in all of them. We're gonna talk about her character later. We're gonna talk about what her character does this season, this series. I'm sorry, because it's a rough one, and it's not a secret that it's a rough one. But no, the scene where Suzie is about to kill her above the hub. It's done very well, and what a good reveal to show what's going on with Jack. It's pretty good. I remember watching this for the first time because my mom actually got me into this show, which is so weird to say now because I am really passionate about it. I know way more about it than I think she does. I don't think she's ever finished Series 4. I don't think she's ever finished Miracle Day. But I do want to show her some of the audio dramas in the future because I love them. The audio dramas are so good, so good. Again, if you haven't watched Series 5 through 7, they are really good. God. But no, I love this first episode. And it's pretty good. It is pretty good. Now let's go on to the next one. Let's go on to the next episode. Episode 2, Day 1. People do not like this episode. And that's fair. I don't think I like it. I don't know. It doesn't bother me in the sense of it's very, because one, it's a very extra episode. It's like, hey, we have sex here. There's sex in this show. We aren't shy. We're gonna show it. And they show it. One of the funniest things I remember from the panels is like, yeah, we were trying to do something kind of different in this first series. It was the first series. No, I don't hate this episode. I don't love it. I think it's really funny when I can't remember the woman who has that like alien inside of her, or like the sex gas or whatever, and she goes to a clinic to like, all right, well, I need to have sex with dudes. This is a good place for it. And she's trying to do something with one of the guys, and he's like, I'm gay. What do you? No. I don't know. There's something really funny about that. And then yeah, no, it's it's a decent episode. But no, something I'm going to be bringing up a lot in this, by the way, because I don't think it gets factored enough when I see some people review things. Yes, there could be things that are like bad or anything of that. For me personally, I am okay with bad things as long as it's entertaining. I mostly care about being entertained. That is my main thing. So like, let's say if there's bad CGI, let's see if there's something like, oh, that was silly, or something like that, I am less bothered. I will make fun of it, but that doesn't mean I'm bothered or that I don't like what I'm watching. What I care about most is that I don't want it to be boring. I don't think that's talked enough about. If something is boring, oh, it fucking sucks. It really does. This goes for like movies, just shows in general. That's a big thing with me. And if there was one complaint I have for this season, is that a lot of it is boring. In terms of episodes I like rewatching, it's not a lot. But no, I do not like this episode too much, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Let's go on to the next one. Episode 3, Ghost Machine. This one's not bad. So this is going to be a trend of episodes where they're decent, but I think that they would be better in audio drama form. I know I already have some thoughts for some episodes in Series 2 where I think, okay, this would be really good there. But no, we get to see a little bit of Owen dealing with seeing something very traumatic when he's like looking back in the past. And overall, I think it's a really good episode. The idea that they want to hunt down this person for what he did and fucking kill him, I think it's really good. If there is a complaint for this one, slightly boring. Again, I think that's gonna be the case for almost all of these episodes. It's gonna be slightly boring, and I think it could be better. But no, I've always thought the dude running into the knife at the end was very goofy. Like, immediately goofy. But no, it's not a bad concept. I think it would be better in audio drama form, though. Now let's talk into a lot of people's favorite episode. Episode 4, Cyberwoman. Yikes, to say the least. Yikes. So, I like the tragedy of this episode. I like the tragedy of this one. And in terms of watching it, do I think it's horrible? I don't think so, actually. Like, if I had to pick one out of these first 4 episodes, I would definitely watch Everything Changes. And I think I would watch Cyberwoman next. It's a bit of a mess. The design for the Cyberwoman is obviously bad. It's a lot of like, oh, it's a woman now, let's do something like sexy with it. Not a fan. It's no secret. I do wish that they would have referenced it. I do wish they would have referenced it in Series 12 of Doctor Who, when Jack talks about the lone Cybermen. and they're like, "What's a Cyberman?" I wish they would have tried to fit in like a Cyberwoman reference, like, "Oh, if you think this is bad, you should have seen the Cyberwoman," or that kind of thing. I don't know. I think that would have been kind of cute. Um, but no, I think it's a tragic episode, especially when the pizza lady gets killed. It's really sad. Um, and I'm gonna break a lot of people's heart by saying this. Um, I don't know if people like, so I don't think people will disagree with, maybe they aren't into the character super too well. Like, this is not a good first impression of the Yanto Jones that we come to love. It is not a good first impression, but I'm not too into watching Yanto in these first seasons because I feel like he's just, I mean, for me personally, he's just a little awkward to watch. I think this will be more of the case in, this isn't, like, my example of this is in Series 2, mostly, which I think he's actually better there, but for these first 2 series, I'm not super into Yanto. I love Burn Gorman, and, by the way, Gareth David Lloyd, fantastic. He, actually wrote one of the, audio dramas in Torchwood. It's an episode with him and Owen, Yanto and Owen, and it is one of my favorite episodes of the show. So, you know, he has a glow-up, but early on, I'm not super into him, unfortunately. But yeah, Cyberwoman, I don't mind it too much. I actually like it. I actually like it. There is that scene where Owen and Gwen kiss, and she makes fun of him having a hard-on. I do think that part's funny, but I won't focus on it for this episode. I think when I get to the end of the general review, I'll go more into it. But this is the start of Gwen, like, yikes. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's get on to the next one. Episode 5, Small Worlds. This is one of my favorite episodes of the show. I really like it. You can't defeat these fairies, and there's something I love about that. And it's just a scary episode. It's I don't know, it's just really, I really like it. I think it's a very scary concept. And I think it works. You have someone who's into children, and we fucking hate it, and we fucking see him die. He's being chased by these fairies. We see the dad being a piece of shit, and these fairies are horrifying because you can't fight them. And I really like that. Torchwood is known for being, like, it's still early days for Torchwood, obviously, because it's Series 1. But I think this is a good showcase of how dark the series can be. It's not really a happy ending. We just have to let these fairies take this child, and that's kind of that. I believe she's, a chosen one? Something like that? I don't know. It's really good, and we get to see, I think it's really good for the lore. We get to see somebody that Jack was in love with, and it's really sad seeing them die. It is. I don't know. It's just a good, sad episode, and I like it a lot. If I have to rewatch something, it's that episode is higher up on the list. But yeah, let's go into the next one. I don't know if people like the next one. Episode 6, Countryside. People love this episode. People are a big fan. It's not bad. I think I like the concept a lot, where it's like, it's not aliens doing this, it's just people, and that we have to get to terms with that, or whatever. Where it's like, okay, that's fucked up, it must be an alien. And I like how much they push that throughout the episode. But then it's like, nope, it's just cannibals. It's that dude from the fucking wall in Game of Thrones. He's a bad guy. I think it's a really good episode. It's not up there for me too much, and that might bother some people, but it's mostly because I don't enjoy watching it too much. I don't know. It is really good, though. We get to see Yanto headbutt somebody. I think everybody's pretty good in this episode. It's not bad. Yeah. That's mostly my thoughts on Countryside. I don't know. I don't have too much, even though that is a good episode, and there's really nothing wrong with it. It's not one I go out of my way to look at. I do. I like I like how awkward it is at the beginning, where, like, all right, who was everybody's last nog or whatever the hell, and Yanto's like, it was Lisa. Something really funny about that to me. Something really funny about that. But yeah, Countryside, don't mind it too much. I'm not super into it, but I don't mind it. Episode 7, Greeks bearing gifts. Oof. So, um, one, unfortunate because I believe this episode has something transphobic in it, and I'm glad to say that they're better now. But was this rough? Yes. But no, as an actual episode, I think this one is one that I really like the concept of, and it's not bad. The idea of reading everybody's thoughts and then kind of like, oh, I could stop somebody from doing this, or you could see what everybody's saying about you. It is really good. Do I think it's executed the best? I don't think it's too bad, actually. Um, yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I actually kind of like it. Yeah, I think it's a decent episode. Again, the transphobic side of it, really rough. Don't know why that's there, but it is 2006. But like, I remember rewatching and be like, wait, what? What's going on in this scene? Oh, okay, okay, I guess. Um, but yeah, no, I don't mind this episode too much. I think I like the concept of it a lot, and I wouldn't mind seeing a better version of this concept. Episode 8, they keep killing Suzie. Episode 8, they keep killing Suzie. I have watched this episode with a few people, and they don't care about it too much. I don't know, I just like this episode. I enjoy it a lot. So, one, it's cool seeing Suzie again, and I think the concept, one, it shows even more how Owen's a piece of shit. On how he uses Suzie and Gwen. Like, Gwen is mostly a replacement to him. I think it's really, really good. And it's just like the idea of there's something in the darkness. One, I think it's a good setup, but I think that scene of Suzie and Gwen in the car just talking while you could see all the darkness around the car. I don't know. I just like it does something for me. I don't know. I'm a big fan of it. The only thing I don't like about this episode is it is a little slow in the beginning. Again, there's something, at least for me, that's kind of painful to watch, or it's a little hard to watch because of how boring this first season is for me, and I know that's gonna bother people. I'm sorry. I do love the show. I don't love it too much in the beginning, but I don't like the part in this episode where Torchwood is trying to get back into their base, and the people are kind of just joking about it on the call, and they're like, "Nah, you can't get in," or like, "Say what happened again? You got locked out of your base." People are about to die. Let us in our base. This is really bad. What the hell? But no, I think Suzie coming back to send her father into the darkness is fucking insane, and I love it. What the fuck? That's so fascinating to me that she talks about how horrible it is, and she goes out of her way to get her father to fucking die. Oh, I love that. And I think Eve Miles is really good here. I think she really sells being like, oh, she's getting her life stolen from her right now. Overall, I like this episode. If this is the episode where they talk about the risen mitten and the life knife, I could have done without that. If you didn't like Yonto, that's not gonna sell you on him. But no, I like they keep killing Suzie a lot. Apparently, she comes back again in an audio drama or like one of those radio stories, I believe, before Miracle Day. I could be wrong, something like that. I never checked it out, but I like the concept of she just keeps coming back in some kind of way. But yeah, they keep killing Suzie. I'm a big fan. Episode 9, Random Shoes. I love this episode. People fucking hate this one. I see a lot of comparisons between Love and Monsters from Doctor Who, and I love that episode as well. I like following this random person, and I don't know, there's just something about it that I like. I will say this, rewatching it older, it's a little weird. It's a little weird, but that is Torchwood. It is a little weird. But no, I like it as a whole. I like following this like guy getting his whole story. It's really sad. It's really tragic. I don't know. It just does something for me. I'm a big fan of this episode, and I love the ending where it's like he gets to save Gwen, and then I guess he just moves on. I don't know. I think it's really cool. Something I forgot to mention that's in the first episode, the fact that we established that there's nothing after you die, I really like that. Um, and it adds a lot to the Doctor Who universe as a whole. But no, Random Shoes, I love this episode. This is one of my favorite episodes. Episode 10, Out of Time. This is a good episode. It's a tragic one. I think it's... Yeah, no, honestly, I don't know if I have too many complaints. It's pretty good. We get to see one really good for Owen's character. I think he needed something like this. It's good for Jack. It's good for... Yeah, I'm trying to remember it too much. It's good. It's just good for all the characters, and I don't know. People like this one a lot too. I think it's kind of emotional, especially the ending. It's pretty sad. The guy that kills himself with Jack because he just can't live with being in a different time. Really sad. The lady who's not Amelia Earhart. She's really good in the fact that she just leaves. And I'm pretty sure we just never see her again. I don't think we know anything about her after the fact. Unless they dive into something extra in audio, but I'm pretty sure they don't. She's really good. And the lady who wants to just go on her own. I really like that story for her. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's feel good, but there's something about this one. There's no threat, and they just have to deal with it, and I like that a lot. Out of Time is a fantastic episode. Episode 11, Combat. I don't like this one. I think the concept of it is decent, Alien Fight Club, that kind of thing. But in terms of watching it, I'm not super into it. It does have the guy who plays what's his character? Shit. He's in the Cowboy Bebop live action. He plays the bad guy in it. And I remember when I watched all of that, I was like, oh god, it's him. But no, I'm not super into it. I do like Owen dealing with it, so he just fucking, like, gets scrapped up. But no, I don't like this one. I don't like this one. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to say. Episode 12, Captain Jack Harkness. I like this one. I will say this, it is a tad boring. Especially at the beginning. I'm usually, like, dying. Like, if there was something where it's like you're on the edge of your seat, this is like the reverse of that. The concept is really good, and the episode, when it picks up, is also really good. I like seeing, we get to see the identity. We learned so much about Jack in the series, and I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan. And Captain Jack, the original one, is fantastic. It's such a good story that, like, this dude dies in this war, and Captain Jack is like, well, I need an identity. And there's just something about that. Also, I love how gay it is. It's 2007, and we don't care. We're going for it. I love it. I love it so much. It's really good. Tosh is fantastic in this episode, by the way. She's a goddamn champion. She deals with racism. She has to, like, do all this work to get back. It's so good. Now let's talk about the other person that's in this episode. Billis Manger. Rest in peace, the actor. He recently died this year. I believe he filmed his, like, final appearance as that character for the latest season of Torchwood. So I'm really glad we get to get that, but he sadly passed away. But no. So, his character. I don't mind him. But I don't understand him. This has always been the case. That's more of a me thing. Hey, if anybody wants to explain his characters here, his motivations, all of that. I know he's doing it for Abaddon, but I don't understand his character, and that's the only thing that's stopping me from liking him all the way. And that's as a whole. I know he has a lot of comics. He's in the audio dramas already, all that kind of stuff. But no, I don't understand him too much, and that's the only thing stopping me from fully liking the character. But yeah, Captain Jack Harkness, not too bad. Let's go into an episode that I actually really like, though. Episode 13, End of Days. This is a really good finale. Again, these guys fucking suck at talking with each other about everything. That was something I loved, is like, Cyberwoman as the best example, I think. Everybody kills Yanto's girlfriend. Understandably so. It should be acknowledged, understandably. But they don't talk about it after. And that is a trend throughout the season, and it builds up to this, at least for me, a really good finale. Yeah. It's so good. I don't know. First thing that comes to mind is very later in the episode, but after Owen gets fired, I don't know, it's just really sad, and then, Jack just hugging him at the end, while Owen just apologizes. It's fucking good. I like it a lot. I fucking love Jack fighting Abaddon. It's silly as hell. And it is definitely a series 1 kind of thing where, like, yeah, it's the first series, what can you do? But no, I really like it. We obviously get the cliffhanger with Doctor Who, where you hear the TARDIS coming in. But no, I really like it. I really like this one. Thank God they didn't kill Reese. Reese is a goddamn gem, and I haven't talked too much about it, because I've been waiting to save it for my little synopsis I'm going to do after I do a review of every episode here. But he deals with so much, he's a goddamn champ. So yeah, episode 13, I like this one a lot. Now let me go into the other part of this review, where I review the characters and all the stuff like that. It is time to review the characters and how I feel about them. Jack. This is specifically for this first series, by the way. So Jack, I like him. I like him a lot. He's really good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have too much else to say there. I'm just the character. You don't have to be sold on Jack. You're kind of just into him. Gwen. She's really good when she starts. And I haven't talked about it too much because there has been little story stuff throughout all these episodes where she cheats on Reese with Owen. And it's pretty fucking brutal. I'm very much glad we forget about this type of Gwen. No, this is Gwen at her worst. And that is no secret. That is no secret. People might not like this. I think Gwen is at her best in series 4. I think she's at her best there. I would say arguably she might be at her best in the most recent season, actually, in Among Us. She's pretty good there too. But when it comes to the television show, I think Miracle Day Gwen is probably my favorite Gwen, at least when it comes to her story there. But no, Gwen is super rough. Super rough. Owen. I love Owen. They go a little, I think, a little bit too much when it comes to him being a piece of shit. Like, he's a criminal. Arrest this man. But, I don't know, despite it, I just love Bern Gorman. I love him. I, love him in everything I've seen him in. And this is where I first, saw him. And I like him and his character a lot. Obviously, he improves. Everybody improves moving forward. But no, I love Owen. He's a piece of shit, but I think that's kind of why I love him. Tosh. I'm gonna group Tosh and Yanto together. I don't appreciate them too much in this first season. Tosh is fantastic. Like, if there is who is the least problematic, it's her. Tosh is really good, and you just kind of want to root for her. I know. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of both of their characters, but I don't think I like them too much. Like, Tosh doesn't do anything bad, but she doesn't do anything where I'm like, oh, I love Tosh. She's good though. She's good though, but I don't care for her or Yanto too much. I've already talked about it a little bit. I think Yanto's a little awkward to watch. He is better in the second series, and I'll save more thoughts there, but I think he's awkward for these first 2 series. So yeah. The Torchwood team as a whole, decent, not a bad concept. Not a bad concept. But obviously we have to grow. So yeah. That is my review of Series 1. What episodes do I like? I'm going to want to do these for the first 2 seasons of the show. or I'm gonna want to do this for the first 2 series of the show, and then obviously series 5 through 7 because these are Monster of the Week. But let me talk about what episodes I actually like. Out of the 13 episodes, I like Everything Changes, Small Worlds, They Keep Killing Suzie, Random Shoes. Out of Time's not too bad, I think. Out of Time's not too bad. And End of Days. Captain Jack Harkness isn't bad, but I'm a little bored when I watch that. But no, I like about 6 episodes, just a little less than half. If I had to rate the season, should I do ratings, like numbers? I was thinking of that just a little bit, even though ratings are kind of pointless. Because I mostly care about my thoughts. I won't be too passionate if I do give numbers to these episodes or this series. But I'll say this: I will. I'll do this. I will rate them not with numbers, but at least in comparisons. So, like, out of the 6 series there are right now, currently series 1 at the bottom, and you'll find out in the future on how I feel about the other ones. But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching and all that kind of stuff. I'm lovely. I'm gonna do more reviews in the future. Of course, I'm gonna do the whole series, every series of the show. So, yeah, if you want to see that stuff, subscribe and all that kind of things. If you have not checked them out, check out the Big Finish series. They're really, really good. Especially if you're kind of into these the first 2 kind of seasons where it's like Monster of the Week. I think this concept really shines better in the audio dramas. But yeah, I'm lovely. I'll see you in the future. Thank you for watching.